Hey, what's up, Popo as well? It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold5 against the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6. So make sure you guys stay locked in to the end of the video. And if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through. If you're new, make sure you stay locked in to the end of the video. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. So let's just talk about protection first. I'm actually using two Poetic cases. So this one is the Guardian for the Z Fold 5, and then I'm actually using the Poetic Spartan case for the Z Fold 6. And I like it because they both have a stand on them, which is really cool. So you can actually keep them propped up in different orientations, sideways. And this one actually has these little thing you can use like a pop socket as well, or a stand. So I definitely use both of these two cases when it comes to overall protection. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is the weight. When you first pick up the Z Fold 5 and the Z Fold 6, one of the things you're going to be noticing is the weight. So when it comes to the Z Fold 5, you're actually getting 252 grams of overall weight, which is actually 8.9 ounces. And when it comes to the Z Fold 6, when it comes to the weight, you're getting, 238 grams, which is basically 8.4 ounces. So it's going to be much more lightweight and noticeable. Like when you're picking it up, you're definitely going to notice the weight difference when you're using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's definitely going to be a little bit more lightweight in the hand. So you're definitely going to notice that when you compare it to the Z Fold 5. So I just want to mention that this one will definitely, you can feel the weight a little bit more. And then when you actually go to using the Z Fold 6, you're going to notice it's just a lot lighter and more noticeable when it comes to the weight difference. Now let's talk about the overall build quality. Now, when it comes to the hinge, they actually made it so that there's no air gap on the Z6, the Z Fold 6. And you can see on the Z Fold 5 on the right, there is going to be a little air pocket right there. So you will notice that when it comes to the overall build quality. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that when it comes to the water resistancy of the Z Fold 6, it's going to be IP48 rating, which means that it's going to be protected against, water and dust. So it's going to actually be protected against both of those things, making it a little slightly improved when it comes to the overall, durability. So I definitely think that has a slight advantage, because on the Z Fold 5, you're actually going to be getting an IPX8 rating. So that means that it's going to be water resistant, but it's not actually going to be dust proof. So like, I'm the type of person that likes to go to the beach, and on my Z Fold 5, I noticed that whenever I would be using this at the beach, if I did have a case on it and there was sand stuck in between the case and the phone, I would get these minor little scrapes on the side of it so that the paint would actually chip off. So that's something that I didn't really like too much. Same thing with the Z Fold 4. That one did that as well. So far with the Z Fold 6, I haven't had that happen to me yet. So I definitely think this is going to be a little bit more durable. No, they're both going to be made of, glass as well as metal. And so, they definitely going to give you a pretty good overall materials. So you're going to get plastic, glass, and metal. The plastic is going to be basically like in the screen and on the inner display. And then so right here you can see, but it is like an actual plastic glass material, which actually folds very well. So I'm going to put the brightness all the way up on both of these devices, so you can see one of the differences as well is going to be the brightness level. So we're actually getting 2600 peak brightness on the Z Fold 6 and 1750 peak brightness on the Z Fold 5. So outdoors is going to be much more brighter in outdoor situations, as well as when you're consuming media content. Another thing is that both of these devices do actually have a 7.6 inch inner display, but on the outer display on the Z Fold 6, they actually made it 6.3 inches compared to the last year's model, which has 6.2 inches. So it's going to be a slight difference in that area. But you know, when it comes to the build quality, both are going to have the dual speakers, which actually have a different shape to them. So you can see you do get the Type-C port with the microphone, and then, you know, you can see that much more compact design on the bottom. It just looks much more, you know, symmetrical and everything. And then on the front display, you're going to notice that you do kind of get a longer edge on the left side of the Z Fold 5, whereas on the Z Fold 6, both sides look symmetrical. So I definitely like that part about the Z Fold 6, is that it is a little bit more symmetrical, but you still get your power button on the side, which are always on display on both of these devices. Obviously, the Z Fold 6 is going to be much more brighter, and then you're going to get your volume rocker here with the SIM slot right here, right above it. So the cameras are going to be 50 megapixel, 10 megapixel for the ultra wide camera, and 12 megapixel as well for the telephoto, I believe. And so one of the things is that with the Z Fold 6, the camera on here is going to be a slightly improved camera. And what they did with the camera on the Z Fold 6 is that they gave it better low light on the sensor. So the both devices share setups that are basically the same, but the only difference is that the Z Fold 6 offers noticeable improvement in low light conditions when it comes to the photography. But other than that, they're going to basically have the same exact cameras. So when you're taking photos at nighttime, and you're going to notice that the shots are going to be a little bit more clear during the nighttime. But other than that, you're not going to really notice a huge difference between using both of these cameras. Now, when it comes to opening them up, both of them have really gorgeous panels on the inside as well. You can see right there, this one is extremely bright and vivid. It maxes out at 1750 peak brightness when it comes to the nits. And so you can see this one is going to max out at 2600 as well. So in other areas, they both have very similar performance. One was released in July 2023 on the Z Fold 5, and then the Z Fold 6 was just released in July 2024. So they're going to get really long upgrades, and both of these devices will get, 7 years of updates as well. So Android 21 on the Z Fold 6 and Android 20 on the Z Fold 5. So as far as the overall inner displays, I noticed that the edge on the display right here, they actually, to make the phone close a little bit tighter, this part that goes across the whole entire edge of the Z Fold 6 is a little bit more raised up, so that it can, when it closes, that actually touches together. And so you can't actually, that's how you achieve not getting the air gap, is that part of the phone is definitely, I could tell it's slightly more raised up and a little bit more, looks like it's more protective. So yeah, this one it still has that, but it's definitely not as, promising as the one on the Z Fold 6. So yeah, both panels actually look beautiful when you compare them side by side, and I'll show you that in just a second. So one thing I like to do is see if the newer device has, with the Snapdragon Gen 3, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the Z Fold 6 is going to be a little bit more snappy than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the Z Fold 5. So let's compare them both. But both of these devices are going to have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on here when it comes to the protection, which is definitely going to be pretty strong. Obviously, you're going to get the Snapdragon8 Gen 3 on the Z Fold 6 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on here. So they're both going to be really nice. The Adreno 1000 HZ and then the Adreno 740 on the Z Fold 5 when it comes to the GPU, both running 12 gigabytes of RAM as well as 512 storage, or 256 or 1 terabyte, I guess, depending on what configuration you get. So let's do a quick speed test. Play Store 1 2 3. That was the Z Fold 6. Let's do Samsung Notes 1 2 3. It looked like that was pretty close. The Store 1 2 3. That looked like it was the, hold on, that was the 5. So I give it to the 5 right there. Let's open up YouTube 1 2 3. That goes to the 6. Let's go into the Bible app real quick. Let's go back one page. Here it is, 1 2 3. And that's gonna go to, I don't even know, that looked really close. Let me know in the comment section which one was faster on that one. Let's do like 2 more apps. So let's do AliExpress 1 2 3. That looked like the 5 right there, to be honest with you. Let's do Amazon 1 2 3. That was the 5 right there as well. And let's close it off with Meta real quick. 1 2 3. That was a tie. Let's try IG 1 2 3. That looked like the 6 right there at the very last second. So yeah, both of these devices do have really good performance. So looking at them right now from an angle, it kind of looks like the Z Fold 5 on the right is brighter, but I know that when it comes to the peak brightness, the Z Fold 6 is going to get much brighter. So let's go ahead and expand the displays. And so you can see right here, when it comes to looking at the displays, obviously you're going to get that portrait mode, but obviously you could turn them to the landscape mode as well. And I was holding down the power button. There we go. So this is going to be the best way to view content on here. And so you can see, yeah, it does look a little bit brighter on the Z Fold 5. I'm not sure why it looks brighter right now, but like I said before, you're definitely going to get a brighter display on the Z Fold 6 when it comes to outdoor situations. So I guess that kind of kicks in when you're in that environment or whatever. So yeah, both are going to have Dolby Atmos stereo speakers, which are going to get really crazy when it comes to the overall audio quality. So you're not going to be disappointed in any way possible, as well as the 120 hertz refresh rate on there. So it's going to be pretty crazy when you're looking at both displays and you're viewing content, because it's going to be crazy. And you can use the S Pen on the inner displays, but you can't use it on both of the outer displays, which I still don't get. But like I said, both of these are going to be absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, right now, let me see something. I'm actually going to change the quality, because I just want to show you how they're going to max out. And so that's probably going to make it play a significant role on. But like I said, I'm looking at both displays right now. Both are peaked out to full brightness, and I could definitely see that the Z Fold 5 is a little bit brighter. But they actually do have a feature right here where you could turn on extra brightness and increase the overall display brightness. Let me see if that was actually turned on. Okay, so this one actually had it off as well. So yeah, it just looked brighter. I don't know what it was, but it did look brighter. Then you also do get your adaptive motion, which is going to give you that 120 hertz on the display, which is definitely going to make a huge difference when you're looking at it. And your navigation bar, so you could use gestures, or you could use the buttons. You could also use the edge panel right here, which I love to use on both of these devices because it's going to be really good for multitasking. You also do get that bottom bar right here, as you can see, which also makes a huge difference when you're using both of these devices, because you can actually do multitasking on the bottom there too, and then you could also drag it up, and you can cancel it just by dragging it in that spot. But this is going to be the difference right here. I think the Z Fold 5 is going to get this soon, but you can see we have the Galaxy AI features, and these are pretty crazy. One of the things I wanted to show you though is like, it does do AI faces, and some, like, you can see how light skinned I am. And so like when it does the AI faces, it doesn't actually always work, because you can see this is my skin color when it's doing the AI faces, and I'm definitely not this skin complexion. So I'm not sure, like, that thing is not friendly to light skinned people, I guess. But if you're like, you know, a different shade other than light skin, it should work just fine. But yeah, one of the things you can do with that AI thing is call assist, so you can get real-time translation during phone calls, chat assist, interpreter, note assist as well, so it can actually generate images when you use the sketch tool. I don't know if you want me to show you that right now or in another video. I'll probably just do that in another video. And then you can see right here you have your photo ambient wallpaper, health assist, and everything like that. So they do offer more AI on the Z Fold 6 right now, but I think that the Z Fold 5 actually should get an upgrade pretty soon so that it can get some of those same features that the Z Fold 6 has. Now, as far as the battery life on both of these, they're both going to have the 4,400 milliamp per hour battery. However, there's a significant difference in battery performance, mainly because the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset on the Z Fold 6 delivers improved battery with compared to its predecessor, the Z Fold 5, due to the efficiency of the chipset, which is actually going to give it better battery life than the Z Fold 5. So it's basically going to be the Z Fold 5 isn't going to be able to. You can't really compare it to the Z Fold 6 now, because of the battery endurance is going to be slightly better on the Z Fold 6 and more efficient when it comes to the processor, which is going to lead to a little bit noticeable better battery life when it comes to the Z Fold 6. So I just want to mention that. But just to wrap up this video, the main difference between the Z Fold 6 and the Z Fold 5 is that the brightness is going to be better on the Z Fold 6. The other thing you want to consider is that they're both going to have this exact same display, except for a slightly bigger outer display on the Z Fold 6, which is going to be 6.3 inches now compared to the 6.2. So they're going to give you a slightly bigger outer display, which is definitely going to be noticeable, and it's going to be a little bit lighter when you're using it in the hand. So I definitely think that's going to be pretty cool. They both offer facial unlock as well on the front and on the inner display. And so another thing is that the durability is going to be improved with the Z Fold 6, as well as the performance, battery life, and the ultra wide angle camera lens, because of the better low light quality that you're going to be able to get on photos. And then other than that, everything is going to be pretty much the same. The battery life will be better optimized on the Z Fold 6. But let me know what you guys think about the Z Fold 6 and the Z Fold 5 in the comment section. If you're still here, just type down below, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help boost the engagement. And I'll hit you back. I'll check you guys later. Peace.